Hi guys, and welcome back to the Living in Seattle YouTube channel. My name is Francisco Dictado. I am a licensed real estate broker here in Seattle, Washington. So if you've got any questions about what it's like to eat, live, work, play here in Seattle, Washington, I'm your guy, and thanks for tuning in today. In this episode, in this video, I kind of want to go over what's been going on in West Seattle and also what the market looks like compared to last year in King County. So if you're interested in finding out some updated stats and numbers, please stay tuned. And also, I want to share with you kind of what's on tap for the summertime here in West Seattle. Okay, so real quickly, I figured we'd get some just some stats out of the way so we can digest and process that and have a conversation about the real estate market right now, currently in Seattle. So in King County, May of 2022, new listings are up by 12%. Pending sales and closed sales are down almost 14%, and that, I believe, is directly correlated to the shift in the market and the rising interest rates. And we can talk about that more a little bit later on. But that's what the pending and closed sales look like, down 14% from this time last year. Average sales price in King County is 1.246, and that is up by 15% this time last year. So as you can see, even though the market has shifted and interest rates have risen in the past 2 or 3 months, the average sales price in Seattle, Washington, or in King County, I'm sorry, is still rising, and currently 15% May of 2022. Inventory, which is a really telling factor, is up by 56%. So now we're closer to about 0.9 months worth of inventory. And in a balanced market, again, we like to see 4 to 6 months of inventory for us to say equate a balanced market. So what's really interesting to me is that yes, interest rates have gone up, and places outside of Seattle, you've seen price decreases, and we've seen more traditional offers being accepted. I've even seen contingency offers being accepted now, whereas the last year or 2 years, there was no way you were going to get an offer accepted in Seattle if you had to sell your home first to buy this new house. It's been really, really telling also that in Seattle, for the top 2 or 3 homes that come out each week, these homes are still competitive, and some are still even going above list price. And in this video, or this little clip I'm going to show you, this is a home listed in West Seattle for 1.2. It was listed by Redfin, went on the market Thursday. They had an offer review date, which really isn't that common anymore, but you still see them every now and then. Offer review date for Tuesday. These guys got an early offer. They waited to the review date and eventually closed at 1.4-ish. So you can see if you've got a home that's updated, remodeled, completely turnkey, in a great location, those homes are still few and far between, and so you're still gonna have some competitive situations there. And so this market has shifted, but it's not completely turned everything around. What we're seeing is more homes being priced correctly, and the homes that obviously overshot, maybe they had bad advice, they're sitting on the market. Overall though, I am seeing more homes sit on the market for longer periods of time than I did 4 or 5 months ago. So for buyers, this is a really great sign. And I know even though rates have gone up, if we think about it and have a little perspective on the situation, say you had a home 2 or 3 months ago that was listed for, let's just say, $1 million in Seattle. There was a good chance that there was still very low inventory, and at $1 million, you were gonna have to put in a real competitive offer, which meant waiving financing, inspection, all of that good stuff that protects a buyer. And you're still gonna probably have to overbid by 100 grand, maybe 200 grand above that $1 million list price. So let's just say now with the rates that have gone up from 4% to say 6%, yeah, you're paying 2% more in your rate, but you might be actually saving some money with the interest rates that have gone up, because you don't have to overpay right now for certain homes, or at least you don't have to overpay by 200K or 100K So if you do the math with your loan officer, you actually might be coming out even, or even saving a little bit of money with the rates going up and you not having to compete and add on another 100K, 50, whatever, 200K it is to the list price. You can actually now, in most cases or in most places, see a home listed at $1 million, and if there's no offer review date, you might be able to catch that home for $1 million, which, I mean, I think there's a wash there. So that's something to consider. Obviously, talk to your lender, talk to your real estate professional, give me a call, and I can walk you through that process, because I'd love for you to see that even though the rates are high right now, this might be a great opportunity for buyers. And like they say, date the rate, marry the house. Okay, now I want to get into the West Seattle real estate market specifically. Closed sales in May of 2022 are down by 20%, and I think that is directly correlated to, again, the rising interest rates and some of the consumers and buyers being a little bit tentative and scared off by that. Median price in West Seattle, though, is $900K, and that's up by 13% compared to this time last year in May. More homes are sitting on the market for longer periods also in West Seattle. But I preface this by saying, if you've got a home that's turnkey, remodeled, doesn't need any updates, those homes are still few and far between, and you're still gonna have competition there. So in Seattle in general, Bellevue as well, great homes are still going at very competitive prices, so be aware of that. All right, so let's talk about the best time in Seattle. My most favorite time of year in Seattle is summertime. It's when the sun comes out. Yesterday literally was about 90 degrees, and it was the hottest day so far in Seattle, and it was glorious. Some of us without the AC retreated into our basements and cooled off that way, but this is absolutely the best time in Seattle. I love it because people come out, all of the different neighborhoods have their festivals lined up, and so people are excited about that, especially after COVID when those things got canceled. I think everyone is really ready to get out and about and kind of live a normal Seattle summer. So along those lines, I want to tell you what's going on in West Seattle specifically and what to expect for this summer. June 28th, Coleman Pool in Lincoln Park opened up. That's a saltwater pool on the shores of Puget Sound. You walk through Lincoln Park and go down the beach park area, and you hit Coleman Pool, which is open to the public, and it's a really cool venue. I mean, literally the pool is set on the shores of Puget Sound, so as you're swimming, you can look out into the sound, maybe watch a few sea lions and maybe catch an orca or two while you're swimming, which is really cool. Just the venue itself is fantastic and unique. Farmers Market in West Seattle is open from 10 to 2 p.m. every Sunday, and walking up there in the summertime, just it doesn't get any better than that. The West Seattle Street Fair, which all of us West Seattle locals really look forward to every summer. It's like an impromptu class reunion in West Seattle. That is on this year. It was canceled the previous 2 years because of COVID, and those dates are July 15th through July 17th. That's a Friday to Sunday. And pro tip here, if you guys have kids or just want a real relaxing evening, walk up to where the street fair is on Thursday evening, because the streets will already be closed off, and so there will be no through traffic and no cars driving through the Alaska Street junction from Southwest Genesee to Southwest Edmonds. And the pro tip is bring the kids, walk up to the junction, maybe have dinner up there, and since the streets are already closed off, there's a few vendors out there just having a little bit of fun. And last time we were there, we saw kids running around the streets with bubble makers and riding their bikes in the streets, which is really cool to see. And it just felt like a really relaxed, chill vibe that the kids and parents could really enjoy, because the streets were closed off and vendors were still kind of getting ready. And obviously there was very little crowds and still very quiet. Come Friday through Sunday for the West Seattle Street Fair, which is now called the West Seattle Summerfest, I believe. us locals refer to it as the street fair, have always referred to it as the street fair. That gets pretty crazy, rambunctious, and noisy. There will be concerts, there will be a live stage, the beer garden is always packed, there's tons of vendors and just lots of great food during that weekend. And if you look on the West Seattle Street Fair website, it'll say that the concerts and the vendors close at 8, but that's really when the party really starts getting going. And the music gets turned up, the beer gardens stay full, all the bars along California in that area are really packed. And again, it's just a really fun place for everyone to meet up, say hello, and it turns into a little West Seattle reunion for all the classes, and so that's really fun for all of us to experience once again. Another event that is expected in the summertime is the Alki Art Fair, and that's scheduled for July 23rd to July 24th. It's a beautiful setting, obviously, because you're on Alki in the summertime. Just can't beat that vibe. We also got news and got word that the West Seattle Bridge will hopefully be reopening September 12th, and that kind of sucks that it's not happening earlier and during the summertime to help all the West Seattle businesses kind of take advantage of the summertime. But the hope is, and the City of Seattle has even announced it, that September 12th will be the reopening of the West Seattle Bridge, and I know a lot of people will be really excited for that. There's even a bridge reopening party that's being planned by the West Seattle community right now just to celebrate that. And it's going to be interesting to see what that actually does to the real estate market here in West Seattle. Also, obviously, that will alleviate a lot of the traffic concerns and accessibility issues that we have with the West Seattle Bridge down. I do wonder if it will bring more eyes back to West Seattle because the bridge is back, and we'll see how that affects the numbers. I personally don't know what's going to happen during COVID. With the bridge down, we thought that maybe it would affect the real estate market here, but I don't think it did whatsoever. Obviously, you see that the prices and home values still went up. Inventory was still very low. And I think that's really the main thing, is that inventory still to this day, even though we've got 50% more today than we did last year at this time, only means that we went from half a month's inventory to almost a full month's inventory, and that's still nowhere near a balanced real estate market. So the supply and demand is still uneven there, which will, I think, affect and continue to push real estate values up. But speaking on West Seattle and the bridge being back open, I kind of think that we're just going to get more people open to West Seattle even more if they're looking in the Seattle area, just because of those traffic concerns being kind of taken away with the bridge reopening. So I do expect a little bump in real estate prices and just activity when that bridge opens up. It will be interesting because September typically is the slower month in real estate because kids are back to school, summertime is over, and people are settling into their routines. But if you've got a great real estate agent who's experienced, they can get you properties sold for you in a real quick and timely manner during the month of September onwards to the end of the year. Also, don't forget that Alki Beach is here in West Seattle, so the summertime is a really great time for Alki Beach to show off its natural beauty. There are, I think, a few low tides scheduled to be happening on Alki Beach, so it's a great time to get the kids out and walk the beach and get out and see the sea life and shell life out there. So really cool time for families out here in Alki. But in general, the water taxi is going. We've got some ball games at the stadium, and I do recommend, if you're here in Seattle during the summertime, even if the Mariners aren't doing so well, it's a great ballpark, so I do recommend going to check that out and spending an evening at the ballpark. The Seattle waterfront is beautiful as always in the summertime. The Pike Place Market gets really busy, but it's a great place to visit, grab some really good eats, and see the sights downtown Seattle from there. So if you're thinking about moving to Seattle, come visit Seattle in the summertime, and I would say schedule that visit right now, because this is really the starting point to summer over here, and I mean the city just shines and shimmers right now. All right, so that was my quick take on West Seattle summers, the King County market update for May 2022. If you guys haven't already, please go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. This is my information above. If you have any questions about what it's like to eat, live, work, play here in Seattle, Washington, I'll be more than happy to answer any of those questions. Just reach out. We've got your back if you're thinking about moving to Seattle, Washington in the future.
Sometimes you wanna go.